So let me introduce you to the four dimensions, how I think are they created, or how do we get from one to another dimension. So I would like to start with the zero dimension, which I think it's interesting. The zero dimension is like a dot, like a point. There is no movement, you cannot move left or right, it's just a state of being, just something that is. It lives within itself. Um, so coming to the one-dimensional space, a one-dimensional space is basically a line. Imagine a line where when you are in a one-dimensional space, you can only move in two directions, like left, like back and forth, back and forth. And if there's another being, you cannot like go around it or something because there is no left and right. You can only go back and forth. This is like a one-dimensional state. So you have two directions. In a two-dimensional space, um, it looks like this. You have a space where where you can go back and forth and you can go left and right. So if you are a being in a two-dimensional space, you can go, you have four directions that you can go, four directions. So what do we see here? For the next dimension, we're always adding, like here, we're adding +2 is two direction, and we're adding +2 again. We have four directions, and therefore, in a three-dimensional world where we live in, we're adding, therefore it must be +2, six directions. Let's see. So this is a two-dimensional world, and now we're making it a three-dimensional world. That means we adding two direction again. Not only can we go back and forth, left and right, we can go up and down. That's like six directions. So this looks for me like a formula for what happens when you go to a higher dimension. You're always adding like two directions. Therefore, the fourth dimension must, or we can predict that it's again +2, that we have eight directions in a four-dimensional world. And to visualize the four-dimensional world, I have to go back to the zero dimension. And as we see, what we did was always adding. So the higher dimension is made out of infinity lower dimensions. What I mean by that, the zero dimension is just a point, just a dot, just a being. And imagine when you put another point next to it and another next to it, like an infinity of zero dimensions, then you get a line. Then you have a one-dimensional world made out of like endless zero dimensions. And then you have this dimension where you can go back and forth. And the same applies to the next one. Imagine you have this, imagine there's a stick, and then you put one stick next to it, and one next to it, and one next to it. And what happens? You get a two-dimensional field. And in that field, you can move um, back and forth and left and right. And the same applies to the next dimension. If you want to create a three-dimensional space, how do you create it? Like, you add a lot of two-dimensional space on top. Imagine you have a piece of paper, and then you put another piece of paper on top, another one, and then you have like a book, and then this is like this three-dimensional space. So the three-dimensional space is made out of infinity or endless two-dimensional spaces. And therefore, when we want to draw the fourth dimension, um, we can do the same. You have a three-dimensional space, and then you add one next to it, one next to it. So, of course, it's kind of hard to draw the fourth dimensional space because I would have to look from outside to see how the fourth dimension looks like, and it's quite impossible. So, how I like to uh, visualize the directions of a four-dimensional space is more like this. When we draw the directions of the one-dimensional world, we have this line, and then we adding the direction of the two-dimensional world. So we have like four directions, and then we adding the direction of a three-dimensional world. This is the world we live in, X, Y, and Z. So therefore, it makes sense that the four-dimensional direction, however it may look like, when you simplify it, it's more or less like this. So, and there are different ways to show it as an object or to visualize this. But that might be something for another video. Thanks for watching. I hope this was kind of understandable. I hope it was clear. If not, if you want more like a simpler version, or if there's any question, if something was not clear, just let me know. Yeah. And thanks for watching.